Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Friday, the 4th day of June. It is National Clean Beauty Day today. I don't know what that means. Clean beauty.
Maybe not much makeup.
Oh, that's a good idea. And you're a clean beauty. You hardly ever wear makeup.
I really don't wear much makeup.
I like that, though. National Old Maids Day today. National Cheese Day. National Cognac Day. Have you ever had cognac? Am I saying that right?
I'm not a huge
Do I even say it right?
fan.
Cognac?
Yeah, cognac.
That sounds really funny to me. National Hug Your Cat Day. This is a good day to get scratched, is what they're saying. National Safe Day and National Donut Day. Oh,
Who doesn't love Donut Day?
don't want to mess up Donut Day. And I've got a guest joining me today. I'm actually super excited to visit with a #1 New York Times bestselling author, Veronica Roth. Now, here's why I'm excited to talk with her. She has several books that have done very, very, very well. But there's one that's called Divergent. You ever heard of Divergent?
I have.
And it was turned into a movie as well. And we're going to chat a little bit about that because it's like the 10th anniversary of that. But in addition to Divergent, she's also had several others. I'm looking. I had a whole list here. Where did I put that? Oh, over here. Insurgent, Allegiant, a bunch. We'll chat with her all about it in a bit.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. A new study shows overconfidence is causing Americans to lose money on investments. So I could see that because there are a lot of people right now that are hearing about, oh, hey, this stock did really well. And then all of a sudden other people are jumping on there going, oh, I'm going to do that too. And then if you don't know what you're doing, guess what happens? Well,
You'll lose a bunch of money.
yeah, so that's not good. And a survey asking people what their most hated lawn chore was. I'm going to ask Heidi before I reveal. And everybody say amongst yourselves, if you're with a buddy, if you're with somebody you know, coworker, friend, somebody you love, somebody you just put up with during the day, whatever, shout out, what is your least favorite lawn chore, if you have one? Heidi?
I think other people would say weeding.
And
but
what would you say?
That is, I don't mind it. I kind of like, it's kind of relaxing.
What would you say is yours then?
I don't really have a least favorite.
Well, the answer is weeding, 35%. 28% say fighting pests. I just see them out there with boxing gloves. Come on, dandelion. Surveys and studies and such. Brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. A man told troopers during a traffic stop that he was driving erratically because his truck was struck by lightning.
Well, I could see that. That would make you swerve.
38-year-old Steve Stinton is accused of driving drunk. He's, let's see here, turned his signal on, swerved between lanes. Troopers pulled him over. He had alcohol in his breath, slurred speech, had difficulty locating his paperwork. They said, my truck pulls to the left because I was struck by lightning. Okay. Despite not having a dentist or a doctor, he also claimed he might be diabetic because he gets tingling in his hands. I don't know what that means exactly. Several sports-related concussions, none in the recent past. He denied drinking, though. He said, I wasn't drinking at all. I was eating some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
Yeah.
For some reason, he failed the sobriety test, and he was arrested, booked into the jail on DUI charges. So
Please do not drink and drive.
No, it's a bad idea.
Please.
Super terrible idea. Don't do it. That is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Despite Amazon's acquisition of MGM, the long-awaited James Bond movie, No Time to Die, will still have a theatrical release later this year.
Oh.
There were a lot of people thinking, oh, it's going to probably go direct to Amazon now.
Right.
Well, it could have because they own it now. But since they already had plans for it to be in theaters, they are still going to push that one out through theaters. So, and Pauly Shore is in the news. I like Pauly Shore. I got to do an interview with him on this program. Remember that?
I like Pauly Shore.
He's campaigning to make a sequel to Encino Man with Brendan Fraser.
I would love that.
In the original buddy comedy, for those of you who don't know, a pair of teenagers find themselves unexpectedly saddled with an unfrozen caveman. So
that was a great
It
movie.
really was. Sean Astin was in that as well.
Yes, he was.
So I wonder if he would be in the sequel.
Probably.
But it doesn't mention him in the story. Come on, Pauly. Get my buddy Sean in there, too, and we got a
I'm
deal.
sure he would be in there.
All right. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of RadioSavings.com. Education researchers say the subject kids most had trouble with while attending school from home was, Heidi?
Math.
Of course, math. Yeah,
I
math.
had trouble with math at school.
A lot of people do. Former Stanford computer science researcher who now works at Tesla, Andrei Karpathy, ran an experiment using a supercomputer to come up with a list of the bunch of one-of-a-kind baby names. They include
Okay.
Charyanne, Charyanne, Sanny, Sanny, Risa, Resa, Waylon, Wallon, Mersus, Merus, Merus, Candica, Candica, Rachane, Rachene, Ozilla, Ozila, Shanae, Shanne, Carella, Carella, Gamera, is that right? Gamar, Geamar,
Why would anybody need this?
and Jakin, Jackein. So if you want to come up with a name that nobody else thought of, he came up with a computer program to do just that. I wonder if that's where, because he works at Tesla, do you think that's where Elon Musk got that name for his kid?
I don't know.
I wonder if he went over to this Andre and said, hey, crank out a name from that computer thing you got
Wow.
there. And do I have time for one more? Because that was a lot of names right there. I do have time. All the stuff in your life, it's not making you happier. In a survey of over 10,000 people, over 50% of those people say they would be just as happy without most of their possessions. 2/3 of the consumers polled made a point to get rid of unneeded stuff at least one time per year. I need to probably do that more because I have a lot of stuff I don't need.
Yeah.
And then I have to work around that. I'm like, I should do something with all this stuff. And then you know what I do? Nothing. Nothing
I
at
would
all.
be happy without most of my possessions. We've actually talked about it before.
I know.
Just
We
selling
talked about the
everything
whole
and move it.
We should move to a little house, a tiny house. And Heidi's like, you can't even
no,
fit
I
your
wouldn't
stuff
move
in
to a tiny house.
a big house. Your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of RadioSavings.com.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We have best-selling author Veronica Roth joining us right now, and she's got some books that were turned into films, and you know all of these names. Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant. Veronica, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic. Now, when you first sat down and put out that first book that turned into a movie that people have seen, did you kind of envision it becoming a movie, or did that just kind of happen?
No, I feel like that would be like the height of delusion for an author. To be like, they're definitely going to adapt this. No, I was just excited to see it on shelves. That was like the dream. Those were my dreams stopped, basically. So everything else has been kind of a wild ride that I couldn't have anticipated.
And the thing that's really neat is it gives you kind of two completely different audiences, because there are people who love the books they're book fans, and they're gonna read it, and they're gonna go into their own little world when you put the words on page. But there are other people who sadly just never pick up a book. So unless it's on a screen, they're not going to even see it. So it kind of takes your characters and the whole world that you created and brings it to a whole new audience, doesn't it?
Yeah, and sometimes people are just like infrequent readers. Like they will sometimes read a book, but not very often. And I think the movies sort of introduce them to like, maybe you'd like this. Like it's like testing it out before you read it.
And Divergent is one of the best-selling book series in this category, and it's done. There's 3 films, Kate Winslet, and a bunch of amazing people in it. But we're commemorating a 10th anniversary. Is that right?
That's right.
And there's like a special edition of the book available. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so there's new cover art by an amazing artist. Her name's Victo Nye, and so it's beautiful on the outside. But also, it has all this special content that I've created over the years. So it has deleted scenes and some essays by me, and then just a bunch of other stuff. So it has all of that stuff that's been in a lot of different places over the years in one place now.
That's really cool. And now, are there additional books in your head right now for these series, or are you kind of working on something new right now? What's next for you?
Well, I guess I wrote kind of like a spiritual sequel to Divergent just last year. It came out the first week of lockdown, so it's kind of not a time when anyone was thinking about books, even me. But it's called Chosen Ones, and it's about people who saved the world 10 years ago, and now they're adults and they're world famous, and they're kind of dealing with the aftermath of, having achieved like the biggest thing ever when they were adolescents. Like, how do you cope with that? So that's kind of what the book is about, and it comes out in paperback today also, which is good timing.
That is fantastic. So if somebody wants to catch up on some reading, and that's the thing that's nice, there are some people who they do what's called summer reading, where, hey, I got a little more time in the summer, I'm going to actually sit down and read a book. So this could be a really good thing.
Yeah, it should be. It's a good beach read. I feel like it's funny. So that's my pitch for it.
That's awesome.
I'll have a good time.
So now, what was it when you were growing up that got you interested in being a writer? Were you a big reader as a child?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my mom, couldn't pry me away from books. I would take them into the shower and just, hold them out of the spray, which is a real delicate operation, let me tell you.
And who inspired you, a young Veronica Roth, when you were growing up? Was there a certain writer that you just go, boy, this is the person that shaped my writing style?
I don't know if there's a specific person, but I loved Lois Lowry and Madeline L'Engle, and I loved this series of books about aliens called Animorphs by K.A. Applegate. So I was always into science fiction and fantasy, and just really always focused on technology and what we could do in the future. And so all of those authors were inspiring to me as a youth. I've met a couple of them now that I'm an adult, which is totally bizarre.
Now, for the maybe young people out there listening, if there's a young Veronica Roth listening right now that's going, I want to be a writer, do you encourage people to do that, or do you say, boy, this is a tough life?
I would, yeah. If someone really loves writing, if you like the actual work of it, I think it's, you have to be passionate about it, though. So a lot of people want to have written a book, but that's a common dream, but the day-to-day work of writing, if you like that, then you should definitely go for it because it's really rewarding. But yeah, otherwise, it'll test you. It's not an easy life, but for me, it's always been worthwhile.
Well, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time to chat with us about it today, and I'll be looking for the 10th anniversary edition of the book.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Again, Veronica Roth has been our guest, #1 New York Times bestselling author, Divergent, and again, Insurgent and Allegiant, and many others as well. I'm going to throw a link to make it really easy for you to find not only the 10th anniversary edition that's out, but also all of her other books as well. That'll be in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The legend of the Loch Ness Monster goes back nearly 1,500 years.
Really?
Tale written in 565 AD speaks of an Irish monk traveling through Scotland. While there, he heard stories of a water beast that attacked and killed local people when they went to the river. Wanting to help, the monk used his friend as bait to lure the beast into sight, at which point the friend commanded it go no further, and the creature stopped and swam back upstream. The river is now
like that, you don't need enemies.
known as River Ness, which is flowing out of the famous Loch Ness. There you go. It's our fun fact for today. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi
Hey,
Show.
thanks, buddy, for using me as bait.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, RadioTravelGroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline Spain. A man in Spain was found dead inside a statue of a dinosaur.
Oh.
Police say he likely got stuck inside the dinosaur trying to retrieve his phone.
Oh.
Yeah, and then he got stuck. Nobody knew he was in there, and then he was done. So don't go chasing phones inside dinosaur statues. That's a bad. I didn't think I'd ever have to give that advice, but there it is. This is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A man is accused of collecting disability benefits even though he owns a limousine company and started bodybuilding. 50-year-old Anthony Ragusa arrested and charged in the office of the New York Attorney General. He's in the town of Huntington, applied for benefits in 2013, claiming he was injured badly while on the job as an electrician. Could not bend over to put on shoes or walk more than 15 minutes or sit more than 30 minutes.
Okay.
Was in so much pain he could not work at all. The documents, though, say that even though this is all true, or even though he says this is all true, they've got evidence that he's probably not telling the truth. Because there's video on his wife's Instagram account showing he's bodybuilding.
Oh, boy.
Describing him as an avid weightlifter, depicting him lifting heavy weights. He was arraigned on grand larceny, second degree, offering a false instrument for filing in the first degree. So that's a bad idea. You don't do that.
Yeah.
It's today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by RadioSavings.com. A Texas law firm said that they fired a female employee after video surfaced showing her jump into a monkey habitat at the El Paso Zoo.
Oh, boy.
Did you see this online?
I didn't, but you know what? People do this a lot.
The Lovett Law Firm said Lucy Ray was a litigation assistant and a personal injury division is where she worked. Well, that seems weird that she'd be doing something like this then. They say that she was in the primate habitat and she jumped in with the monkeys. The zoo says they may be small, but they can take you to the ground if they want to. They were feeding the monkeys, and that could have endangered them by disrupting their diet as well. The police say the potential charges will be filed. The zoo says they plan to press charges against the woman as well. So,
yeah, I'm sure.
And I think they almost have to, because if they don't,
They have to, because
other people
otherwise
will
there'll be
like, well,
copycats. Yeah.
I'm going to go jump in and play with the
Right.
monkeys too. So don't do that. It's a bad idea. Terrible idea. It is today's moment of duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Heidi, are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Heather Downs, Toledo, Ohio. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center?
Downs.
Heather Downs, golf course or rehab center?
I'm going to say it's a rehab center.
Man, it's a golf course.
No way.
Yeah, Heather Downs.
Whatever.
Sounds like a horse track to me, but it's a golf course. And that is how we play. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. Here's the headline. Man turns unexpected inheritance into a random act of kindness campaign. Comes from Northern Virginia, where a man and his 3-year-old grandson just wrapped up a 1-month random act of kindness tour. Kind of a cool story. George came into an unexpected inheritance, and he said he didn't really need it. He decided to share it with people who are struggling and people who can help those who are struggling. He said, I had this idea. I figured some of us in this world are doing better than others, and that those of us who are doing well could maybe share some of that good fortune with those who are not doing so well. And I love that it's him saying we should do this, not somebody should make us do this.
Right.
It's like, I'm doing this from my heart. That's awesome. So for a month, George and his sidekick, who happened to be his grandson, Miles, 3-year-old kid, handed out $100 every day with a note that read, please accept this random act of kindness. And if you don't need it, feel free to share it with others. So, and I think that's really, really cool. So I don't know if it was one $100 bill per day or if they were doing $100 bills, but many of them per day.
Right.
But even if they were doing one per day, times 30 days, that's how much, Heidi?
It's like $3,000.
Yeah, I don't
Right?
math very well, especially not on the spot.
We shouldn't be mathing on the radio.
Anyway, I think it's really cool. And there was a TV station, Fox 5, in their community who caught up with them and did a TV story about this. So there's some really cool video if you want to see this as well. I've got a link to the video and to the story and all of that stuff in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.